What's up, Knicks Nation? Tonight we have an action-packed show. We're going to talk about the trade. Should the Knicks make a trade, trading the young guys away, so that way they can make room to get some veterans on this quest for a championship? We'll also talk a little bit about Malcolm Brogdon, Landry Shamet. Those guys receive one-year deals, and they are the catalyst behind some of these trade talks. We also talk about Mitchell Robinson and his recent comments that got him slammed on social media. This week, we do have a smoke of the week. We have a comment of the week. And of course, we're going to do word on the street. And we're going to talk about much more on This Week Inside the Knicks. What's up, Knicks Nation, and welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan. I'm straight out of Kings County, York City. And you know the vibes, y'all, man. Thanks for rocking with me, man. And on This Week Inside the Knicks, a new pod for you guys. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Technical difficulties, there I am. I will be working on something behind the scenes, but I do want to give a big time early salute to my man Mellow Mike in the building. Salute to HRM the Great early in the building. Oh, HRM, we definitely got to talk. Well, this is episode 14, not 13, but this is episode 14 of This Week Inside the Knicks, the 2025 off season, and definitely got a little bit of a show. I'm not going to stay that long today because I do got some things to do, but there are some interesting things. Listen, every single week, we're going to be discussing things that happen now. I'm not talking about the 1990s. I'm not talking about the early 2000s. I always talk about what's current and what's relevant now. So give me 2 seconds as I work on the behind the scenes. Yes, HRM will talk, but Mellow Mike, salute to you. Hopefully you doing well. Thank you for showing me a lot of love on TikTok. I do appreciate that. By the way, if you are on TikTok, definitely check us out there. This week inside the Knicks.com. Trying to find my settings really quick. I thought my overlays updated. I'm not seeing it. Let me see something. So a couple of announcements I do want to make before I get the podcast started. Salute to everybody that watched the Objective Fan Hoop, all the channel members. I was in Brooklyn. I did get revenge on one of the guys that beat me in the tournament. It was a great, good watch. I actually hit a crazy game winner. And yeah, I was on fire. I was looking for revenge yesterday. Also, the Objective Fan Hoops returns tomorrow. Tomorrow, I definitely will be getting it in Yonkers. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me see. Still trying to troubleshoot this behind the scenes. Call-up show this Friday. As you guys know. But I am thinking about doing the call-up show earlier. Because my schedule's changing. But not only just that, I'm trying to see which crowd I want to cater to. Because what I'm learning on Friday is that the late night crowd, you guys be coming out as I'm getting off. But then there may be an earlier crowd who I'm missing who goes to sleep. So, I'm still tweaking that and still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the call-up show. But definitely overall, especially as we go into the season, there will be some changes, to what we're trying to do. Let me see something. Studio mode is glitching. Okay. That's research mode. Research mode is working. I'm gonna get there in a second. Let me more things I want to talk about too. Definitely, guys. As you guys can see, I made some tweaks to the lighting, getting the I'm consistently working on the channel, man. So definitely your support definitely helps. whether it's channel memberships, whether it's super chats, whatever you're able to donate. Also, subscribing if you're not subscribed and hitting that like button also helps out a lot too. So that way we make sure, I could invest in the channel. I do my next investment for the channel will be the sound system, 100%. So, we're continuously building and growing. I'm gonna have to leave the overlay like that. I'm trying to find my correct overlay. It's kind of throwing me off because I hate looking at the old stuff. Let me see if this will do it. Thank you, J Tap, on the lighting. Lighting looks great. Yeah, man. It took me a little while, but whenever you're trying to do something, especially if you're doing it independently, it'll take you some time, but you'll get there. You'll get there. You just gotta keep putting the work in. Keep putting the work in, and then overcoming, obstacles like the one I'm currently facing. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Another thing I want to talk about is the podcast itself. I'm thinking about doing pre-recorded pods. I'm not sure how you guys feel. I know you guys like the live experience, but how I was doing the podcast before, we were doing Premiere. So it'll still be a introduction and things of that nature. But instead, the only difference would be that, you guys wouldn't be able to interact real time. So be on the lookout for that. Kind of mad I can't change the overlay right now. Really throwing me off. But you know what? I know what I could do. I'm gonna try this one last tweak, and then we're gonna get the show started. Hit the like button as you get in. We just getting started. It's some things to talk about this week. Definitely some things to talk about this week. Oh, another thing too. Another milestone for the channel. We reached our 400th upload with the Objective Fan Hoop video. Salute to 400 videos. That's crazy. That's crazy. If I look back at it, I wouldn't even think I did that many videos. That's wild. A lot of content, and we're going to continue to push forward. So hopefully this works. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, so bam, we in research mode. Once again, if you're new to this podcast is dedicated to documenting the Knicks 365, 7 days a week. Give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. This podcast is also tied to a blog, thisweekinsidethenix.com, where you can actually go here and see all of the news stories for the week. So that's episode 13. When you go to thisweekinsidethenix.com, it'll take you to this homepage. All you have to do, you can scroll down, click on episode 14.2, because we didn't do a video last week, but it's still episode 14. Nonetheless, you click on episode 14.2, you'll be able to see all the things that we're going to touch on today. All right. Now, I'm going to jump into the special highlights. I do want to give a big time salute to my man, Taj Gibson. It's looking like his career is coming to a close. He was with the Knicks, and he followed Coach Thibodeau everywhere he went. So now that Coach Tibbs is not coaching the Knicks, and it doesn't look like he's going to be picked up by any team, give a big time salute to Taj Gibson on a potential retirement. Salute to him. He held it down. He also held down Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota. So a lot of you guys that think Towns should be a power forward, you guys don't realize that Towns can have success at the center spot. He just needs a power forward like Taj Gibson. All right. So let me go back to blog. Of course, we always do birthdays. So I'm gonna do birthdays from last week's show. We didn't do last week between the 2nd to the 7th. So we're gonna do all the birthdays, okay, between the 2nd all the way to the 14th. All right. So I do want to give a big time salute to Greg Butler. His birthday was September 4th. Salute to you. He was born in 1966. He played with the Knicks from 88 to 90. Of course, Deuce McBride, who's currently on the Knicks. Will he be on the Knicks for longer? I don't know. But while he's here, and even if he wasn't here, salute to Deuce McBride on his birthday, September 8th. Gerald Wilkins, September 11th. He played with the Knicks from 1985 to 1992, and he's the younger brother of Dominique Wilkins. So salute to him. Salute to Ernie Van. Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. Ernie Van Weeg. Don't know. I'm sorry, I butchered it. But he played with the Knicks back in 1949 to 1956, and his birthday was September 12th. Robert Warden, he played with the Knicks in the 90s. I don't remember Robert. Maybe I do. I don't know. But Robert Warden, he played with the Knicks 92 to 94, and he was a center. I think I do remember him. He was a backup. He also went to St. John's too. So damn, how can I don't? That St. John's part I should remember, because salute to St. John's, St. John's alumni, I know I talked that Duke Blue Devil stuff, but I do rock with St. John's as well. All right. So that's all for the birthdays, and I'm gonna jump into the stories, the news stories of the week. So when the season begins, right, I came up with an idea. So what I'm gonna do is, because there's a lot more news and anything that's not game like, because we do the post-game reviews. So what I'll do is I'm going to give the rundown. It's going to be the rundown, and I'm going to just list out all the stories that happened. And so that way you guys get to hear all the things that may have happened that you may have missed, right? And we don't have to read every single article. So hopefully you guys are feeling that idea as well, right? Trying to think, is there anything else I want to do with the highlights? Nope, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna jump into some stories now. I'm gonna touch on this Mitchell Robinson slamming thing. I don't understand why people are so upset over people's. I'm not gonna say upset over people's words. I'm gonna say they'll go to the extreme of taking someone's life because they don't agree with their perspective. Now, me being somebody who does content and is in the space of speaking and talking, that concerns me. I don't know who Charlie Kirk is. I never heard of him, right? Never heard of him. I don't do, political talk, right? I'm in the sports world, but whatever his political views were, I don't think that we should be killing people over their words. So Mitchell Robinson, he came to Charlie Kirk's, well, I'm not gonna say his defense. I'm gonna say he tried to give his condolences to the family, and they slammed him. They got on Mitch, and Mitch said, "I'm never the type to get in the political field." Me too. I don't really get into politics online, but I just don't get how people get so sensitive and offended about someone else's opinions and beliefs. Facts. I do the call-up show. I allow you guys to call up and say all types of crazy stuff. Probably, I would say maybe 60% of the things that's said on the call-up show, I don't agree with. But you guys have the right to express your opinion, and I don't challenge everything, right? Because that's not really what the call-up show is about. I want you guys to have your voices heard, because we are the fans, and I believe that the fans have the right to talk, at least amongst themselves, right? But anyway, to take it back to this, he says, "I respect your mindset and beliefs, but it's not going to change what I believe, right? And stand for. You don't have to like me. You can unfollow, unfriend me, or whatever you have to do to never see what I do or say. I could care less about what you think of me," he added. I disagree with that. I think Mitchell Robinson does care about what you guys think about him. And that's why he's always, posting a lot of emotional stuff on the net. If you didn't really care about what the people think, I don't think you would post some of the things that you post, right? Especially when you're getting emotional online, right? I don't get emotional online, right? I'm here to talk sports, and that's that. I'm not going to get on here and do that. But anyway, bottom line is they came for Mitchell Robinson because they felt like by him expressing condolences for the guy, that means he agreed with his perspectives, and that could be the first thing from the truth. I think that us as creators and people that's on the internet, I think that the Charlie King, murder is something that is important, because we talk we speak our minds every day, right? And a lot of the times people don't agree with our perspectives, right? But that doesn't mean that you should have your life taken, right? That's all I'm trying to say. That part right there is crazy, right? If I could silence people, I mean, I don't want to silence nobody, but a lot of the stuff that I hear online is crap. A lot of people I feel like shouldn't even have channels. It shouldn't be online, but I don't have the power to take that from them. And then they also have the right to express themselves. And if there's a community of people that's following them, then listen, there's two types of people in this world. You have haters and you have players. I am a player. I've always been a player, and I'm a player appreciator. I don't care about what the next man is doing because I know I'm doing me. That's just how I get down, right? And you got people who are just haters, and they want to hate and they want to take. And some people will take it to the extreme where they'll get physical and get violence. To me, words should never get physical. It should never get violent, right? It should always stay in this proper context, especially if you don't even know me personally. But my last little take on this is that I understand there's a thing called confirmation bias, and people are actively online looking for people to confirm their bias. And when they see people saying contrary to what they believe, they then become, on the attack, and they want to attack people. And hopefully the attacks can just stay online. I'm for the smoke. That's why I do the smoke of the week. But the smoke of the week is not meant to become violent. It's not meant to become physical. But I'm going to move off that topic, man. Salute to Mitchell Robinson. I'm riding with you, Mitch. I think that, we can't allow the words online to get to that point. I'm going to move forward. Like I said, I don't know, have no idea. Did I say Charlie King? My bad if I said Charlie King. His name is Charlie Kirk. I don't know nothing about him. I'm gonna keep it real. I never seen a video, never seen a clip. I don't know nothing. All right. But I seen people was getting on Mitch, so I figured I'd chime in on that. That's all I got to say about that. I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna touch on bring it back to basketball stuff. All right. Dennis Smith Jr. was brought back for a workout. We know that he spent time with the Knicks. He was somebody who a lot of us felt that, he should have been drafted to the Knicks instead of Frank Ntilikina. So he's getting the workout. I don't think that means nothing. I don't see the Knicks adding another guard unless we make a trade. No worries. We'll get to that. That is the flagship topic. We will talk about whether or not the Knicks should trade the young prospects. But in terms of this right here, it's interesting to see what happens with Dennis Smith Jr., but I don't think that the workout's going to go anywhere. They also worked out Thomas Bryant and two other big guys they worked out. I'm not sure if they're going to get camp invites, but yeah, I'm going to keep it pushing. I think I got the two other guys here too. Yeah, I got it right here. So they're working out these two guys here. Let's see. Trey Jemison and Alex Len. So they're bringing them in also into camp. Jemison, I think of Jemison. Where did I see him play? Jemison. He sounds familiar. Anyway, those guys got the invite to camp as well. Okay. So push it. I'm moving a little fast, right? No worries. I'll go to the chat in a second, but I just want to get through some of these news stories, and then we'll keep it pushing. So some of the news, signings that we got will mean the departure of some of the guys from last year. One of the guys who is confirmed to not return is Campaign. Campaign will not return to the Knicks next season. And this was his 7th stop in his career that began in Oklahoma City. Salute to Campaign, man. I thought that Campaign had some good moments, and he was a good shot creator, playmaker, but he won't return. And that's confirmed according to Stefan Bondi. And you know what? It's kind of sad, especially for point guards, because I'm not sure if you guys, this is why you guys need to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the like button, right? And if you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. But make sure you hit that bell icon as well, because we did a show talking about campaign, and we did a show talking about not campaign, but it was about trade. I lost my train of thought, but it had something to do with him not returning indirectly. Lost my train of thought. So it's all good. It's all good. Bottom line is, we talk about a lot of these things, and if you want to stay tuned and watch all the shows that we got, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon. That's the best way to know what's going on. But yeah, okay, I got it. I got it back. See, all I needed was a second. So we put up on some of the other shows the top free agents that's available, and there's a overabundance of point guards on the list. So a lot of these point guards won't make it to the league because all of these teams are stacked. We went through the entire Eastern Conference on the previous show, and you could see that every team in the East has a really good point guard, right? Maybe the Wizards is probably the only team that really don't got a solid point guard like that, but every other team in the Eastern Conference got a really good point guard. So, it's unfortunate that this could be the last stop for Campaign. I would love to see him, play for another team and get another shot, but we'll see. As far as I talked about Campaign, Jordan Clarkson, he was on the Roommates podcast. They did their annual Roommates show at Central Park. Couldn't make this one. It's just the timing is bad because my son's birthday is around that same time. But I did watch the episode. They I'm not sure if you're a fan of Josh Hart and Brunson's Roommates podcast, but they released the episode and Jordan Clarkson was featured on the panel and, one of the segments. Now, I didn't really get much from this, right? Jordan Clarkson, he's happy to be in New York. He says he's feeling the energy from the fans, knowing they're going to let you have it when you're playing like ish. But when you're playing great, it's all love at the end of the day. I just want to feel the energy, right, and get to play with Brunson and Hart. That's pretty much all he said. I'm going to keep it real. There was nothing really to it. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but, that's what Jordan Clarkson said. If you want, check out the Roommates podcast episode on their channel. But also, salute to the channel members, right, because I did a unfiltered thought talking about Josh Hart, why I think he should start. And it was something that was said during the podcast that kind of made me feel like Josh Hart will start. So if you're a channel member, go check that out. But outside of that, from a Knicks standpoint, there was nothing really more to the Roommates podcast, at least that episode. But you can check it out for yourself to see how you may feel about it. You may catch something that I didn't see. Let me look into the chat. Salute to everybody that's in the building. I see you, Darlene Bryant. I see you, Yuri, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member in the house and one of the mods. Salute to you. Let's see what you guys talking about. Crim's dad. Crim's dad in the building. What's going on? Darlene says she's a fan of the Roommates podcast. You know what, Darlene? Like I said before, I watch the basketball stuff. I'm not interested in them interviewing Ben Stiller. Well, Ben Stiller, I'll watch because he's a Knicks fan. But like when they interview like people that have nothing to do with basketball, I don't really. I listen to it because I want to see if they talk about some Knicks stuff. That's why I like it, right? But outside of that, yeah, I can't watch the other episodes. Let's see. Coach says some of these guys might be brought back later in the year if we make a big trade, possibly. Right now, there's very few spots left, and there's a lot of players that are quality NBA guys that are unfortunately not going to be able to find their way on a team. And they're probably, some of them going to have to, especially if they're young, they're going to have to go to the G League. Let me see. Question. I'm not sure. You said IHET. You might have to write that again, Crimsdad. You said something the season can't, not this season. Say that again, Crimsdad. I didn't catch that. Let me scroll up. Oh, by the way, you know what? I forgot to give a special salute to, I forgot to do my New York sports report. I guess I'll do it now. First off, the reason why I'm wearing this hat, and oh, okay, it updated to 14. Okay, good. So the reason why I'm wearing this hat, y'all, New York Liberty, the only New York team to win on Sunday. I don't count Buffalo. Dog growl. Buffalo, I don't rock with Buffalo. Sorry if there's Buffalo fans in the crowd. I don't rock with y'all. I'm going to keep it real. I'm a Jets fan, and I rock with the Giants too. They all lost. Yankees lost. Man, I'm not sure about the Mets. Did the Mets win? I could be wrong with the Mets. I ain't going to lie. I didn't keep up with the Mets. Let me double check. I'm not sure about the Mets. Sorry to my Mets fans. You know, I'm calling a truce with all Met fans. I don't want no smoke. I am a Yankee fan, but I understand that there's a lot of Met fans that are Knicks fans. So I don't want the smoke. But did the Mets lose? The Mets won. Okay, I got to give the Mets a salute. The Mets got to win. I forgot about the Mets. My bad. Mets got the win. All these other guys lost, but the Lady Liberty. First off, let me tell you something about these Lady Liberties, man. Perseverance. Stewie got hurt late in the game yesterday. I hope she's not going to miss time. They were down, right? You know, Phoenix came out strong, but those girls fought back. Salute to all of the crew. Inescu, Cloud got busy. I mean, Donkrell Jones. I mean, yeah, man, they got a squad, man. We riding with them. That was game one of their playoffs. They won game one on the road. So yeah, we're going to be keeping up with the Liberty. They're in the playoffs, and they might be New York's best chance to win the championship. I forgot to do the New York report. My bad. But yeah, I'll start the shows with the New York report. And salute to the Mets. My fault. I didn't check to see if they won. They definitely got the W. Let me keep it pushing, though. Let me jump back into back into the show. By the way, I also did this video, channel member. Hey, this last week I did a lot of channel member content, man. Salute to me, man. I be taking care of the members, yo. I did this right after we did that Ben Simmons show last week, the Yabusele report. If you are interested to know how he did in Eurobasket, I did a detailed breakdown because I literally paid $20. I paid $20 to watch him play. I didn't watch none of the other games. All right, because I didn't care to see Luka and them. I didn't care to see that. Like, we know that they're going to kill. Like, Giannis is going to kill in Eurobasket. I mean, come on. Them dudes, they're step slow, right? No offense. And also, some of these teams like France, they didn't send out their A team. This is like their B team. They didn't send out the real, you know, Wemby wasn't there. It wasn't like that. It wasn't that type of smoke. But I wanted to see Yabu because I didn't really see a lot of him last year. And we learned a little bit about him. So definitely check out the Yabu report. Especially if you're a channel member. It's definitely on the channel and it's a good watch. Okay. Let me keep it moving. As far as smoking hot topics, there's some stuff here. I'm not gonna really get into a lot of it because most of it has nothing to do with news. And I like to focus on things that actually happened. But I will say this. Pablo Torre, right? We didn't get a chance to talk about this last week. We did talk about this on the call-up show. I think that was number 39, call-up show number 39, when Pablo Torre, he teased a Jalen Brunson story after the Kawhi Leonard bombshell. Now, on that call-up show, I was going hard at Joe Torre. I keep calling him Joe Torre. Oh, my God. The great Joe Torre. Former Yankee manager. No, not Joe Torre. Pablo Torre. I had to smoke for Pablo Torre because I felt like the Kawhi stuff was kind of like surface. I was like, he ain't really gotten them. But boy, them details started to emerge. Looking like Pablo Torre's on the money. Now, I will say this, Pablo. I'm still riding for the captain. I don't think you got nothing on the captain like that because you didn't say you had things on the extension. Now, if Pablo would have said the Knicks did some funny business to get him to do the greatest sacrifice in NBA history, I might be a little concerned. But I do got to put some respect on Pablo's name because he got the Clippers right now scrambling and in frantic mode. There's reports that they gave Kawhi, that they gave additional money so they could give it to Kawhi. This is some crazy stuff. I expect some heads to roll with the Clippers. I don't think that it's a light situation, like I thought it was. So I got my eye out on that Kawhi stuff. I read like 20 articles on it. I mean, it's insane, the things that is being alleged and the things that they're finding that happen. So yeah, Pablo, once again, like I said, I don't think that whatever he has on Jalen Brunson is going to cause us to like lose anything, but it may be some details that we didn't know about the tampering, right? When he first signed. That's what Pablo said. He said he has some details about when Brunson first signed to the Knicks, not the extension, right? So we get up out of there. But we ain't scared, Pablo. Do what you got to do, dog. Listen, man. Our heart ain't pumping no Kool-Aid over here, dog. You do what you got to do. Let's see. And I thought this was an interesting read too. All these articles are good reads. Knicks resolved a major Jordan Clarkson issue before it could hurt them. And what Daily Knicks is trying to say that signing Malcolm Brogdon, right, definitely will help Jordan Clarkson, because now he can defend, he can play point guard. Clarkson doesn't have to do none of those things. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that the Brogdon-Clarkson duo will be effective? Now, if you have Brogdon and Clarkson off the bench, what happens to Deuce? We'll get to that in a second. But I thought that was an interesting read. By the way, if you see something on here that I didn't cover, all you got to do is go to thisweekinsidethenix.com. Everything is there. This is episode 14.2, and you'll be able to see everything because I can't go over everything. So let me move forward. I'm gonna go to some free agency stuff. Of course, like we said, Malcolm Brogdon joined the Knicks. So that's not something I'd have to go over, but I do want to talk about this really quickly. Knicks hire St. Joseph's Billy Lang. Salute to Billy Lang. Welcome to the club, man. And once again, like when it comes to these assistant coaches, bro, I try to do some research, man. You know what I'm saying? You see it? You see that? Billy Lang. I try to do some research on Billy Lang so I could come to the pod and seem like I'm informed. But to be honest, it's hard to assess the value of guys that are assistant coaches and you're not judging them as head coaches because there's no metric to describe what a assistant coach is successful at. Only thing we have is reports. So here's what we know about Billy Lang, right? He's 53 years old. He was the head coach at St. Joseph University. Prior to that, he was an assistant in the NBA with the Sixers, where he was there from 2013 to 2019. And while he was with the Sixers, he had prominent player development and specialty roles, right? At St. Joseph College, he turned around the program, even though they didn't make the tournament, right? They reached 20-plus win seasons and NIT appearances. He's known for developing players in college, but he does have the NBA experience as well. And it's funny, like, when Brogdon was signed, there's been a lot of rumors about trades. My only question here with this guy, because it seems like he's really good with the young fellas, and that's why they brought him here. If you're going to trade the young fellas, why did you sign him? A little bit of a contradiction there. But there's some things about him. He powers the Sixers pipeline, and Embiid was in that pipeline. I don't think he was there when Maxey was there. Ben Simmons was in that pipeline. Just to give a little bit about him, I don't know. You tell me what you guys think about him in the chat. I'm going to move on to a couple of articles, and I'm going to go back into the chat. Salute to the chat. It's lit. Definitely get the likes up. Let me keep it moving. All right, cool. So, of course, Landry Shamet was signed. Now, here's the interesting thing about Landry Shamet, right? He signed to a non-guaranteed contract. Now, you know what? I didn't check the Knicks sports track in a couple of days, so let's see if they updated it. Initially on the on the call-up show when we talked about this, right? I noticed something funny about the salary cap table. Let's see if it tweaked. Okay, so look, it didn't. So notice on the salary cap table, you see every name besides Landry Shamet, right? And you see Malcolm Brogdon. Why is that? Why isn't Landry Shamet on this table? I believe that Landry Shamet got an exhibit contract. They said that it's a 1-year deal. Hold on. Let me see. They signed a veteran guard, Landry Shamet. Wait, hold on. Did they say 1-year deal? Hold on. Let me fact check myself. Hold on. Let me get another source. Let's see. It says 1-year deal. Let me see. Free agent guard, 1-year deal. Okay. All right. That's all you got. It just every article said 1-year deal. Let's see. This is a different one. This is the Post. Let's see. Landry Shamet, Gareth and Matthews, pair of shooting guards. Shamet was rumored months after he finished the last season. Let's see. Bridges. Okay. So no details on his contract. No details on his contract. 3 different sources. And he's not listed on the sports track. Has to be an exhibit contract. Has to be. And they got Brogdon here, but Brogdon's contract is also not guaranteed. Also not guaranteed. And the cap hit is 2.2, but his base salary is 3.3. I don't know what that means, but listen, I am the objective fan. If you show me something, I'm not going to just look at the area where you want me to look. I'm going to look at the entire page. So I guess that's what I did here. I don't know. Now, with all of these signings and new moves, right, what does this mean? And this was a question I think I asked on the call-up show. What does this mean for Kevin McCullough Jr.? What does this mean for Kevin McCullough Jr.? We know that Kevin McCullough Jr. got a year of service, so he's not a rookie, so his minimum would be the 2.2. And we know the Knicks only had $3.7 million available, and they had to sign 2 players. So I think Brogdon's, even though it's a non-guaranteed contract as we go back to sports track, I think that Brogdon is going to be on the team. 100%. And we're going to get the flagship topic about trades right after this. I'm gonna bleed from this segment into the flagship topic, which is should the Knicks trade their young core, or why the Knicks need to trade their young core. But Kevin McCullough Jr., unless the only way he can return at this point, well, there's 2 ways. It's not one way. It's 2 ways he can return. One way is Knicks make the trade. Knicks make a trade, free up a spot, free up salary, right? That's the basic way. The second way, which I think if Leon Rose is capable of doing this, he deserves to be GM of the year, 100%. Just by convincing a guy like Kevin McCullough, a 6'6" wing that can shoot and play. Well, his shooting is still, I wouldn't say he could shoot, but I'm gonna say he has the potential to shoot, but he could play defense and he's 6'6", good athleticism. You let a guy like that walk, he's gonna get signed elsewhere. So if he can convince this young brother to sign for a 2-way deal, man, salute to Leon Rose. If he could get that done, but that's the only way Kevin McCullough can return. And then if the Knicks do a trade, that doesn't mean they're gonna sign Kevin McCullough. They don't have to sign him. It's just a way for him to get the deal. So interesting stuff there, man. So, and then like we said, Malcolm Brogdon, and of course this brother here, if I didn't highlight it, I'll do this really quickly. This brother right here, Garrison Matthews, he signed. See how it says he signed to a training camp deal. That means it's an exhibit contract, right? I think it's an exhibit 9. So I think that's the same deal Shamet signed. But they didn't announce it. Because why else? If Shamet signed a 1-year deal, he would be here like Brogdon. You see Brogdon? Shamet would be here too. But let me, I digress. I'm going to look into the chat for a brief second. Then I'm going to take you to the shop. So, Dad, did you clarify what you said? Dad, I'm stopping the show for you. I don't think you clarified it. But ask it again, Dad, if you didn't. Jay said Dottie isn't going nowhere. So instantly I said Dottie ain't going to get some milk. Because they say he's gonna get milk and never come up. Yo, Dad, you gotta stop. I'm gonna get to Dottie in a second. Oh, season camp, then training camp. Then okay, season camp, then training camp. What comes after? You mean off season? It's off season. That's where we are right now. Then we go into training camp, right? And then regular season, brother. You here? Oh, I said season camp. My bad, man. You know, listen, even players fall, man. I misspoke. My bad. My fault. I meant to say training camp. If I said season camp, my bad. But for the podcast's sake, I divide the podcast into 4 different. So each year is kind of divided into 4 different segments, so to speak. You have the off season, you have the preseason, regular season, and playoffs. That's how the podcast is divided up. So just for the clarification as well. All right. Mellow Mike said Leon Rose got all the players on their heels. No one is secure, so they battled it out. If they want it bad enough to be on this team, that's a fact. It's going to be a battle, but I think a trade has to come. And I'm going to show you why in a second. This will be Chance says the Knicks fall short this year. I will retire. No, don't retire the name. Don't retire the name, brother. Let's see. Nick Shack, neither are guaranteed. They're just camp contracts. No. Okay, no, I hit. So Nick Shack. That's not what the source said. Right? Hold on. The source didn't say camp contract. It said 1-year non-guaranteed deals. Now, unless 1-year non-guaranteed deals is the Exhibit 9, okay, I take it. Right? It is what it is. It's just formalities, right? But Brogdon's salary still, they said Brogdon signed the same deal, and his salary's here. It could just be a formality. I'm not against that. I'm not playing semantics. By the way, salute to FS Wisdom. I see you in the building. Channel member, salute to you. I think Brogdon pickup tells me they're not trying to trade Mitch. Possibly FS Wisdom. I see you. J-Tap said, it's a small world, Pablo, and I'm outside, son. Salute to J-Tap. Next Day Madness Discord server channel member. And one of the first channel mods. Salute to you, J-Tap. That's funny. Let me keep it pushing, though. So before I get to it, I still gotta show you guys the shop, man. Listen, man. More stuff is coming. I'm working. We getting ready. The season get ready to start. And more things are coming. But right now, the latest addition to the shop that this week inside the Knicks.com is the Bodega Cat black glossy mug. Definitely go get yourself the black glossy mug. Okay. It's fire. All right. I like the black glossy mug. I'm just a black. Black is kind of like my favorite color. But and then we got the hoodies as well. We got it in all colors. We got it in white. We got it in bone. I shouldn't say all colors. But we got it in these colors. And then we got regular black, which is fire. And then we got the charcoal black, which is cool too. But I like the regular black. I like the white. I even like this too. I like this too. So definitely check out the shop. Shop that this week inside the Knicks.com. Go cop you some merch, man. And more is on the way. More is on the way, but those are the latest additions. This still right here is still the best seller. The white Captain 11 mug. They were going crazy for this. All right. But this is my favorite tee right here, the Black Bodega Cat, which I have it literally right behind me. This is my favorite one right here. All right. So that's the shop. You could get there by going to shop.thisweekinsidethenix and shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. All right. So let's push forward. Let's push forward. I'm gonna jump into Flagship. All right. Now, I'm gonna spend some time here. How are we looking on time? All right, cool. I'm gonna spend some time here. Not too much time, but some time here because there's some things that I think that needs to be addressed. The first thing that needs to be addressed is you guys are too tied to players. Like, I get it. We fans of the Knicks and you know, they sign guys. These guys got great personalities. We love them. But the goal is to win a championship. And my motto is anyone can go, but not everyone. Anyone can go, but not everyone. Right now, we're in a crossroads scenario because when you look at our salary, right? We only got 1.4. I said 100. We only got $1.4 million in space. So if this stands and Brogdon makes the team, Shamet won't make the team. Garrison Matthews won't make the team. Anybody who's a veteran and not a rookie cannot make the team, right? So decisions have to be made. I get it. You like the young guys. We got to work on the young guys. You got to develop the young guys. And that's a fact, right? But at the same time, if the goal is to win the championship, usually experience is valued more than young talent. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder, which a lot of people like to use as an example, it's a different monster because, one, they traded their superstars away, got draft picks in return, and a young player like SGA, molded him, groomed him, and then also drafted well, right? And then they drafted so well that they got a guy like Williams, they got a guy like Chet, all-star caliber players, right? Then they kept a guy like Lou Dort around. It's just smart moves. They traded Josh Giddey. So they did make moves, and they will make moves, especially next season, if you want to be a champion. But what makes OKC different is that they just had so many draft picks, and they drafted so many good players that actually can play. That's the anomaly. Usually how it works is like how the 2023 Denver Nuggets did it, right? How the 2004 Pistons did it, right? You're going to have to make moves for players. And you know what? I'm going to talk about the 2004 Pistons, all right? And this, once again, I'm telling you why I think that you're going to have to move over some of your young guys. I know you don't want to. I know we brought Billy Lang in. Salute to Billy Lang. Salute to everybody on the team. But I'm not married to players, bro. I'm a Knicks fan. That's why I'm not a big jersey guy. I'm not. Because that player may not be here tomorrow. That player may not be here tomorrow. Salute to the jersey. I do got jersey, but I'm not a jersey guy. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not. Right? I'm a hat guy. Right? I like my hats. Like you can see behind me. Right? I like my hats. I got Knicks hats all day. You feel me? That's how I represent my team. And then I also got my little custom joint. You know, I did do the Bodega Cat and the Captain 11. I did that. But you know, I'm not really tied to players, man. And I'm gonna say this: to get the championship, anyone can go. I'm just gonna say it like that. But the 2004 Pistons, right? Instead of waiting on young draft picks, they built the veteran team. Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince was the only younger guy that they kept. And that's another thing, too. I'm not saying to get rid of all the young guys. Not every young guy has to go. But some of them, most of them, they got to go. Right? And then, of course, Rasheed Wallace, who they traded for. Now, Some details about the Rasheed Wallace trade. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get a Rasheed Wallace caliber player, but they sent out multiple first-round picks, right? Bob Sora. Who else? I can't even pronounce these dudes' names. I'm not. They sent out a whole bunch of dudes and picks for Rasheed Wallace, and it led them to winning the championship, right? At the time, they had Larry Brown, who definitely did not care about young players. They had the number 2 pick. They could have drafted Melo and passed up on Melo, which is crazy. But they won a championship. How could you say it hurt them? Because they were focused on keeping guys around to fit what they had now, which was a bunch of guys in their late 20s, early 30s. When you look at the 2023 Nuggets, right? They acquired Caldwell Pope. They gave up Monte Morris, Will Barton, 2 young guys. They got Bruce Brown. Then they did the trade for Aaron Gordon. They traded R.J. Hampton, Gary Harris, and a first-round pick, right? But then, of course, you keep a guy like Christian Braun. So I'm saying this to say that I think the Knicks should make a move. And because, look, you got Tyler Kolek. If you're trading Tyler Kolek by himself, so let's say you're able to move off Kolek and not take salary in return, maybe get a second-round pick. Let's say you were able to do that. The only thing you would be doing would be replacing him with Landry Shamet. That's the only thing you're doing, and you still would have to sign another player, which would have to be a rookie because you only have this available. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. You see the 1.4? And let me make this a little bigger. Oh, damn, I have to print. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Let me make this a little bigger. Too big. All right. So you see the 1.4 right there? You're still be in the same problem. So to me, trading Tyler Kolek just for Landry Shamet, I don't know if that's the trade I would do. I think that, do you value Landry Shamet that well that you would trade Kolek, a guy who's on contract for another 2 years, at least with options? I don't know. But there's another guy who makes a little bit more, and his name is Deuce McBride. He makes $4.3 million. Brogdon more than likely is going to make the team. You have Brogdon and Clarkson. I gave you guys a lineup or a potential part of a lineup earlier in Brogdon and Clarkson. Where does that leave Deuce? Where does he fit into a Brogdon-Clarkson duo? He doesn't. Fritz, salute to Fritz. He said on one show, I can't remember which show it was, because he was damn near on every show. But he said that Deuce McBride, you're going to have to pay him. And this game is not just about the game. Like, the game is not just about the game. It's a business. So a lot of times you see teams doing what the Golden State Warriors did. Contract time, Kumunga, there's no opportunity for you to play. And the dude is a bucket getter. But they wasn't playing them. Why? Because look at what you see now, the contract dispute. It's the ugly politics of basketball that unfortunately us as fans have to live through, because why couldn't we just keep them all? But from a business sense, it would make sense to trade Deuce, right? Move off of his salary, bring in Shamet, and then maybe bringing another guy, or really expand the trade. So look at my man Nick Shack. I think it was Nick Shack. I know you are a Mitchell Robinson supporter. But the trade that I'm leaning towards, Tyler Kolek is a throw-in. You could throw him in there. You could keep him out of it. I'm looking at seeing what I could realistically get for Deuce. I love Deuce. Salute to Deuce. I don't want to see Deuce go. But Deuce makes $4 million, and you might could get a pick back. You might could get some for Deuce. But if we really want to spice up this whole scenario here, I would shop Mitch and Deuce. I would see what I would put Mitch and Deuce in a package just to see what I can get. Just to see what I can get. And make sure I get a backup center, a Walker Kessler type of guy, someone that can play the 5 and hold it down. Because Ariel, right? I don't think Ariel, it makes sense to move off of him. He's making less than what the salary hit would be for a veteran. He's making 1.9. I don't think you trade Ariel. And Pacome Dadier, you could trade Pacome Dadier, but I don't think you have to. I think he could be the one that stays. McCullough Jr., bye. We couldn't sign you. You wouldn't come back for the 2-way. Kolek, he could be in a throw-in and a trade. That it, right? Yeah, Kolek. But Pacome Dadier, I don't think I trade Pacome Dadier unless I'm really going to get a good 6. If I could get somebody who's good and who's 6'9", I'm doing the deal. But just to trade Pacome Dadier, because there was another article. Let me see if I got it. It's another article talking about Pacome Dadier is going to be up out of here. I thought that was nonsense. Let me see. Pacome Dadier. Yeah, this was one of the most absurd takes I've seen. Right? Knicks signed. Hold on. Is this article? No, 1 second. No, that's not it. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. There was another article talking about, I think it was this one. Yeah, the Knicks. Knicks' next move after signing Landry Shamet just became crystal clear. No, not this. This is saying DR. No, I can't find it. I just summarized what it said. So the article said that the Knicks need to trade Pacome Dadier after they sign Malcolm Brogdon to make space for Landry Shamet. Why would I trade a forward to make space for another guard? Like every scenario that you could bring up to trade Pacome Dadier, to me, it just doesn't make sense. If you're not going to get a better forward, why trade him? If you're not going to get a dude like, damn, what's the boy from the Rockets? I'm going to pull him up. They got a whole bunch of dudes. Hold on, I'm going to pull him up. If I'm not going to get somebody like this, I'm going to pull him up. If I'm not going to get a Tate, this guy right here, I like Deshaun Tate. Even though he's on a minimum deal, he is 30 years old. I like this kid. Solid. If I'm not getting a Tate, right? If I'm not getting a Tari Eason, here's another guy. This guy's really good. If I'm not getting a Tari Eason or a Tate, why would I trade Pacome Dadier? It don't make no sense to me. But Kolek doesn't make sense. I think the young guy to trade would be Deuce. Now, I know this might sound crazy to some of y'all because just like 3 episodes ago, I said you should start Deuce. Brogdon changes everything. Brogdon changes everything. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. I talked about the old school stuff, teams that made trades to win championships. Even the Celtics gave up Marcus Smart and they made moves. They got older when they got KP and Drew Holiday. I mean, all of these championship teams made moves. Even the Bucks, they went out and got Drew Holiday. You know, like those are the players you need to win championships. Don't get me started on the Lakers with Julius Randle and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. They gave up all of their young core to go on a championship run. I think that's where we are right now. If you want to be a champion, we got to go all in. And by the way, let's not act like we ain't give up all of our first round picks. We gave up Obi, we gave up RJ, we gave up Quickly, we gave up Grimes. What the hell are we talking about second round picks now? The only pick I want to keep realistically is Pacome Dadier and Ariel because you don't got another center. But if I could get a better center, I'm trading Ariel. Hell, I'm going to say it like this. If Thomas Bryant, if we could somehow sign him, I would trade Ariel. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it. What you need to win the champions is veterans. Now, like I said, the two young guys, more than likely I'll keep would be Ariel, because I know I'm not going to get a better center, and Pacome Dadier. And then if I could make Kevin McCullough be on the two-way, and then you could have Billy Lang work with the two-way guys. Billy Lang could work with all of those guys. I know y'all probably flaming me in the chat. I'm looking in the chat for a brief second just to take a peek. But J-Tech says Brogdon just showed up to practice in the wheelchair and a walking boot on each foot. Okay. He's a backup, though. So Kim's dad said where Maxine has been. Yo, she's in the other room. She's in the other room. I don't know why she's not in the chat. She's probably working. She got her own thing she's doing, man. She's around. She's around. Oh, let's see. Stevie Nick said, what? They said calls Dadier. Oh, because Dadier makes a bit more than Kolek. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're going to trade Dadier for who? And sign another guard? That doesn't make sense. A Mitchell Robinson trade would be a wild move. Why? If I could get another center. Oh, hold on. Who just said Brogdon was in the walking boot? I'm gonna take that walking boot reference for you, Stevie Nicks, and say Mitchell Robinson will be in the walking boot. He's a walking boot waiting to happen. What are you talking about? Why is that a wild move? Tibbs is gone, so Deuce won't be playing power forward. Where would he be playing? Yuri says Bondi has not been trustworthy lately. No, I mean, I just went to Bondi triangulation. Bondi's one source. Like, Bondi is not the he's not the only guy. He's reporting on it too. But I went to Bondi because there's no reference here about whether or not the contract is at Exhibit 9. That's the only reason why I went there. Prince that said Yuri's the #1 caller. That's facts. J-Tap said he tried to be the first caller. J-Tap, you always amongst the last callers, though. Do you know how good a hybrid player Kolek Ntilikina would be? Knicks will be champs. I'm not sure if you watched the Yabusele report, but go watch the Yabusele report. I talked about this kid named Frisco. There's a kid named Frisco for France. He's like what you just said. He has an American game, dog. But he defends like Frank Ntilikina, and he's not in the NBA. I don't know why. Weird. And then this is politics, bro. Kolek won't get minutes in New York, and I'm telling you right now, Deuce might not get minutes either. All right, here's another scenario. Mitchell Robinson starts. Nick Yak is happy. Mitchell Robinson gets the start. Now you got Brogdon, Clarkson, Deuce, and Josh Hart all on the bench. You playing all four of those guys? Think about what I just said. Brogdon, Clarkson, Deuce, Josh Hart. You going to play all four of those guys with Yabusele. You're going to get cooked. You can't play all them guards, bro. This ain't college basketball. And especially when all those guards don't defend like that. Well, Brogdon does defend. Deuce does defend. I take that back. They defend. But they too small. You can't put a lineup out there like that off the bench. So that's why I'm saying, and like Fritz said, consolidation. All right, let me push through Flagship. I do got a smoke of the week, man. So, this week, smoke of the week is dog growls. Who you think is going to be the smoke of the week? Who got the most smoke of the weeks last playoffs? Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce gets the smoke of the week, dog growls, once again. So Paul Pierce, he just can't mind. Yo, I swear to God. Paul Pierce can't just mind his business. Paul Pierce always has to have something to say about the Knicks. Now, granted, we fire right now. We are the talk of the league. So yeah, talk about us. We popping right now. Salute to New York City. I think we're gonna have a very fantastic. Listen, I'm so high on the Knicks right now, man. I'm beginning to believe, yo, we might actually win it all. Especially when Leon Rose does this next move, and some of your favorite Knicks might be out of here. And then I got to come on a call-up show and say, hey, but look at what we got in return. So some of your favorite Knicks may be out of here, but look at what we get in return. But look, Paul Pierce said that the Celtics blew the series against the Knicks, right? And what was hard for Paul Pierce and the Celtics followers watching the club squander the second round series to the Knicks. They didn't squander nothing, dog. We beat them. Head up. No injury excuses, please. Salute to the channel members. Y'all know I did the video. It was like a 23-minute video debunking all of the excuses that they're going to tell you as to why we beat the Celtics. Please do not come to me with that. I'm going to stomp on your Tatum injury argument from the gate. Let's not even go there. But listen to what Paul Pierce said. Yeah, I think that they blew that series, Pierce told the Heavy. Absolutely. They had 20-point leads in the first two games. The Celtics are notoriously known for blowing 20 big leads. They do it all the time, bro. I watched 40 Celtics games last year. Trust me, I seen it. I seen them crumble. They blow leads. You know why? Because the three ball doesn't always fall. And if you live by the three, you can die by the three. Okay? Now, they had 20-point leads in the first two home games at home, and they lost them both. Yeah, they blew that series. That had nothing to do with the Knicks' talent and all that. That's cap. First off, let me say this. Towns, problem. Towns was a major problem that y'all had to deal with. Y'all couldn't deal with. Y'all had nothing for Towns. And Brunson, even though y'all do had a bevy of defenders, but Brunson he just got to a point where you had to put Jaylen Brown on him. And even then, he was cooking. And then OG Anunoby had moments, right? And all these guys, you know, it was a team. Man, salute to the Knicks for getting that Boston Celtics that series win against the Celtics, destroying your enemies totally, like I told y'all, on the Unfiltered Thought. Another reason to become, like I said, sometimes I drop them Unfiltered Thoughts, but I tell you, when they hit and be on the money, man, I be on the money, bro. I told y'all before it happened, the Celtics is done. They're going to blow up their whole team. Gave you the schematics and everything. And they're still not done. They're trying to remove Anthony Simons. They're trying to get him up. I wish we could take Anthony Simon. I like him. Simon he's tough. And they're not done because they're trying to get under the luxury tax line. Nonetheless, he said that it had nothing to do with the talent. But all that goes on the way they play too, because they've been a team over the last few years that's given up big leads, right? Because they settle for three. I just said that. You know, you live by it, you die by it. But when you win the championship, what you going to say? What you going to say? Tell them to play something different. Take it in more when this is how they won. That's who they are, and that's why they lost. You lost because your model was flawed. And to be honest, I don't want to dump on your championship run, but let's keep it real. The whole East was hurt, including us. Everybody in the East was hurt. From Joel Embiid to the Milwaukee Bucks to even Indiana. Halliburton went down with an injury, right? Everybody they played was hurt. You dealt with a weak East, dog, because everybody was hurt. Miami was hurt. Miami was giving y'all the business, dog. They were giving the Celtics the business, but Jimmy Butler, he was out. If Jimmy Butler would have been there, I believe that series would have won 7 games, 100%. Then you went up against a Dallas Maverick team with two dudes that don't play no defense, dog. I give it to you, Joe Mazzulla, with the excellent scheme and having them put Tatum and Brown in pick and roll actions with Luka by putting Brown on Luka and then forcing the switch with Tatum on the 5, that was brilliant. But you beat a Dallas Maverick team that traded away Luka. I'm not trying to dump on your championship run, but don't try to dump on the Knicks, man. It wasn't the Knicks' talent. You had no answers for Towns at all, and you still don't got no answers for Towns. Put Tatum there this year. Let's say Tatum ain't hurt. Put him this year. You don't got no answer for Towns. Total domination, dog. And so when they want to use the injury excuse, just tell them this. Tatum had 40 that game he got hurt, right? Tell them this. Why in the fourth quarter, the Knicks was up 3, right? This is when Tatum came into the game. Boom, Tatum coming into the game. The Knicks is up 3. Why in the fourth quarter, leading up to Tatum's injury, the Celtics were a -6 with Tatum on the floor? Because the league got ballooned to 9 with 3 minutes to go with Tatum on the floor. Don't let them tell you that the only reason why you beat Boston was because of injuries. You was giving them the business when they had their squad. And don't give me no damn talk about Sam Hauser. And don't give me no damn flack about KP when KP wasn't even there when you won the championship. So don't give me no goddamn KP excuse either. Paul Pierce, you full of crap. As he always is. I swear to God, he probably got like 3 or 4 Smoke of the Weeks, man. He's leading the Smoke of the Week chart. Now, in the offseason, I'm chilling. I don't really do Smoke of the Weeks like that. But when I see people put stupidity up there, I got to respond to it. Let me jump into the comment of the week. So this is actually an old comment of the week. Now, salute to everybody who be dropping some interesting comments. If you felt like I might have missed out on you, no worries. Next week, I will have some new ones. This is actually an old comment. I don't think I got a chance to respond to this, right? But, and if I did, I'm going to respond to it again. So this post by Gman966 was in response to a poll that I did about Michael Beasley, right? Should the Knicks sign Michael Beasley? So he responds, you want to sign a guy who was in a gambling scandal, right? In the financial capital of the world, where gambling is prevalent. I'm just going to say this. Gambling is prevalent in New York City, but I thought the capital was Vegas nonetheless. And I think I did discuss this, but I'm still going to I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes on this, right? The brother was exonerated by the feds. Now, the NBA, they're still doing their investigation, but he is not in any trouble with the law. So we have to be careful with the information that we put out there. If the feds clear you, the NBA is going to do their own investigation. If the NBA finds something, the NBA has their own rules. As long as he's not banned from the NBA and kicked out of the NBA, then what more can you say about the guy? The guy is he's allowed to have a job. He was shooting 42% from 3 on 9 attempts. If I have the ability to sign a guy like that, I'm going to get him, especially if I could get him for the low. So that's not a good mix. The Nets already got to deal with MPJ's dumb self. The Knicks don't need him. Listen, first of all, why are you bringing MPJ into this when it's his brother that had the scandal, right? That wasn't the wrong Porter, dude. Michael Porter Jr. also spoke out against the gambling. He thinks that is ruining the game. So why would you bring MPJ into this? Gotta knock it off. If I repeat it, I think I did repeat this. It's okay. But that's the comment that we got wanted to address. Don't try to put no smut on Malik Beasley's name, man, because he didn't break no laws. Now, did he break the NBA rules? We're getting ready to see because they doing an investigation. I'm going to do word on the street. Then we out of here. I'm going to look at some of your chats before we get up out of here. I'm not looking on time. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, we close to the hour mark. All right, man. Salute to me, man. We close to the hour mark. Let's see what you guys talking about. Salute to Randu. I see you in the building. Bodega Wi-Fi. Gambling's even available on the stock investment apps. Facts. Matter of fact, what app is that? Man, I can't remember. I lost it. No problem. KG had to put him in his place. Oh, yeah. Facts, Stevie Nicks. Facts. Salute, Stevie. I see you. Hey, listen, No worries. All season long, when they say that stupidity, I will give them the smoke of the week, dog. Trust me. When they say that stupidity, I'm on their heads, man. Well, they go off of offense was predictable. Yeah, I broke down the offense. I broke down this. I told you what the Celtics are going to do. Man, them live play-by-plays, bro. I studied this. I was so well. I did my homework so well that I would tell y'all what Boston's getting ready to do before they run it. They do the same thing over and over. They want to force mismatch with Jaylen Brown, right? Jaylen Brown, only time he's going to attack when he had a small guy on him, right? Jason Tatum going to shoot the hero shots from 23 feet out. Sometimes he uses a pick. Most of the time he doesn't. Very predictable. They want to get three-point shooters open on the corners, right? On the elbow. That's all they want to do. Simple. Yeah, their offense was simple. Simple. They were the champions, but hey. Dorkosaurus, salute to you, Dorkosaurus Rex. Been a minute since I seen you. He says, lose to every young athletic team last year, youngest team to get in the finals in 50 years. Well, we got to trade all the young players for 34-year-old dudes. That's 6'4". All right, bet. I never said that. So you must be talking about somebody else. Just to give you the clarification of what I did say, I said one thing about me, I don't speak in absolutes. The one guy who I think needs to be traded is Deuce McBride. I said Tyler Kolek can be a throw-in. But I don't think that trading Tyler Kolek straight up is going to really do nothing unless you think Landry Shamet is better. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would do that just to sign Landry Shamet. But if you were willing to trade Deuce to see what you could get for him, or be a little bit more bold, trade Deuce and Mitch, and then throw in Tyler Kolek and see what you can get in return. Right? Because you have a log jam at the guard position. Now, I said Pacome Dottie, I wouldn't trade him. And Ariel, I wouldn't trade him. So just to give you the clarification on what I said, just so I'm not sure if you came in late. Stevie says a guard is definitely getting traded. Facts. Now, I'm going to jump into word on the street, but before I do, I'm going to talk about joining the channel. Now, getting ready to talk to HRM. I'm going to hit him up. Hopefully he has some time after the show. But I'm going to tell you about what you get when you join the channel. We have two packages, the starter Knicks fan, the hardcore Knicks fan. I'm only going to talk about the starter Knicks fan. Now, depending on how this conversation with HRM goes, one thing I'm going to introduce to the membership before the season starts, we're going to have a fantasy league, a members-only fantasy league. So far, we already got 4 people. Right? I'm not sure how many people you need in a fantasy league. Never done it before, but I'm going to get all the details hashed out. So we're going to do a members-only fantasy league. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lit. So you still got time because I guess you got to do it sometime before the season start. I know there's a draft or something like that. Nonetheless, the details of that will emerge, right? Another thing you get when you join the Knicks Tape, the channel is you get access to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, which is a members-only server. I mean, listen, man, we have great conversations in there. We talk all sports, but especially Knicks. We talk the Knicks 24/7, all the time. We always discuss the Knicks, and it's a great way to extend the conversation with me. So if you're feeling the content on the channel, get inside that Discord server, and you'll be able to connect. And like I said, it's never a dull moment. Usually during games, I'm active in there. I'm giving stats. Yo, I mean, I'm telling you, double big lineup is -8. You know, I try to always be active inside the Discord. It's a lit place to be. That's not the only thing you get when you join the channel, but that's some of the cool perks. Now, of course, all the members got cool badges. Like my man Knicks will be champs. He said Knicks completed. Knicks complete. I guess he meant to say Knicks completely put Boston in rebuild mode. Salute to him. The reason why I was able to see his chats because he got the cool little star. It stands out. So when I look into the chat, I look for stars first. And then once I see the star, I read the comment. Yuri says, the way I see this is the Knicks are making moves, even though the haters are voiced. Jordan Clarkson, dog. Yabu, dog. I think we will get some square ups this year. Fat. Oh, he's talking about some fights. I hope we don't get into no fights. We don't need to do that. But once again, he's another channel member. So when you get the cool little badges, I'm able to see who you are in the chat. And of course, members get priority reply. So when I see the star, anytime a member drops something in the chat, I try to respond as fast as I could and, you know, make sure your comments get heard. Salute to my man, George. George is somebody who, he rarely be in the live chat, but he always puts stuff in the chat. So I always look for him at, you know, after shows or whatever. and I always make sure I get the response. So that's another thing. You get the priority reply comments, right? Members also get access to member-only live chats. I will be doing more of those, especially as the season starts, because I want to make the shows go faster. Sometimes I read the chats, I'll be in there all day, and that just adds time to the show. So member-only live chats, more of those will be coming soon. Of course, I do a lot of members-only live streams. I did the Yabusele report, I hoop. So I do a lot of members-only content. I'm debating on whether or not the Knicks in 10 show might just be a members-only show. The Knicks in 10 show is a really stat-heavy kind of hardcore show where I break through, the Knicks' progress throughout the season. I tell you where we are, where I think we're headed. It's a powerful show. Still tweaking that. It's a lot of show ideas I got and things that I'm doing, especially when the season starts. But definitely that. Of course, members get shout out, and members also get discounts on merch, all right? So those are all reasons to join the channel. Hopefully you guys join and continue to support the channel, especially if you're a subscriber, all right? That's all you get. That's all I'm going to discuss about the membership. I'm going to go to word on the street, and let's see some polls here. So I was trying to do something different. I was trying to do these text-based polls. I don't know if I like them because I don't really get the same level as engagement. Like you see this Carmelo one, right? And you see this one here? Like it doesn't really get the same engagement. I'm gonna start here though. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do a couple, right? I think this is an interesting question. Is the Knicks wing OG Anunoby the most versatile defender in the league? I'm gonna say yes, man, because it's hard for me to find another guy that can defend all 5 positions. Like he could switch. Like if you run in pick and roll, he's a switch master because he can switch on everybody, and you won't find yourself in a position where he's going to get cooked. Very few players are switch masters where you could put them on anyone. So 214 votes, 61% say yes, 33% say he's one of the best, and 6% of the naysayers said no. Okay. Carmelo Anthony, he retired. We didn't get to do a pod on that. Salute to Melo, one of the greatest speeches I heard in the Hall of Fame. It was fire. And once again, salute to Melo Mike. Melo Mike was featured when they panned to the audience for Knicks fans. Melo Mike was the first one that popped up. This dude, Melo Mike, had to be seen like 1,000,000 times. Salute to my man, Melo Mike. He was on the panel that we did talking about the Knicks championship window. But should he have his jersey retired in the Garden? I'm going to say yes. 77% of Knicks fans say yes. 21% say no. Okay. And let me see which one more I want to do. I don't care about Ben Simmons. Guys, by the way, I'm never going to talk about Ben Simmons again. So, yeah, that's never going to happen. So I'm just going to skip all the Ben Simmons. Okay, skip that. So this is what I did this morning. Should the Knicks consider making the trade? This is also in accordance or in, similar to what the flagship topic is. Should the Knicks consider making a trade to create space for Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon to join the team? All right. I'm gonna say yes. I think we need to make a trade. Not necessarily to bring Shamet though. So maybe I should vote no, but no. I'm gonna say yes. I think that a trade is needed. I don't think that you go into the season with the roster the way it is. Too many guards. So out of the 68 votes, by the way, you could vote for all of these polls. Most of these are just evergreen. Okay. But 68%, 68 votes, 81% said yes, and 19% vote no. I had another one. I'm not sure why it's not there. I did one for the fight. That fight, by the way, over the weekend was lit. Salute to Terrence Crawford for making history, 3-time undisputed. I had a poll on that. I don't know what happened to it. It's just not here. It's cool. But that's all I got on the polls. Word on the street, man. I want to give a big time salute to you guys rocking with me, watching this week inside the Knicks. Some changes may come. I'm not sure if I know you guys like the live show, but I might do pre-record. Only because there's a lot of things going, and we're going to be doing a lot of live shows because I'm going to be doing the post-game shows. So when the game is over, you guys like to do the post-game call-ups. So because of that, I was thinking about making, the pod pre-record premiere style. We can still be in the chat, do it how we do, but it just won't be live. So I appreciate you guys for rocking with me, man. And salute to you, Melo Mike. He said that was a phenomenal speech. I see you on the way out. Salute to Darlene Bryant. I see you in the building. Oh, I didn't do a gamification check on the way out. I guess we'll wrap with the gamifications. Salute to my man, Melo Mike. He's the #1 right now in the chat. Of course, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member HRM the Great. He's number 2. Stevie Nicks, I see you in the building. Number 3. Salute to you, Michael 998. Number 4, J Tap, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member, channel mod in the house at the number 5 spot. Salute to my man John Bryce. Once again, Darlene at the number 7 spot. Salute to my man Nick's Yak, number 8. The Mitchell Robinson supporter. Beeman Boys in the building. I see you. Salute to Coach. Salute to Randall. Crim's dad. Bodega Wi-Fi. B. Willis. FS Wisdom. Channel member. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you, FS Wisdom, man. You always help push the conversation forward with your great comments in the chat. Salute to my man BS10258. Channel member as well. Just Knicks. I see you, family. Salute to you. True Speaker. Dorkosaurus Rex. Good seeing you back in the building. Lucky Walker. Oh, Brother Garfield Podcast. Salute to Brother Garfield Podcast, man. Hey, man, I know you're doing big things, man. But that Dagger Squad Sports was a vibe, man. Salute to you, Brother Garfield in the building. And my man, Eddie Rodriguez. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, channel members. I will be hooping tomorrow. So make sure you guys are there. I'll probably be there around 10:30, right? I'm getting my revenge, man. Listen, man, one thing about me, I always get revenge when I lose. And I go hard in the paint. On the court. You guys know how I get down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a Wednesday show this week. Be on the lookout for that. I mean, if something crazy happens, a trade happens, we'll do a Wednesday show. But the call-up show right now, 10:45. If I change the time, I'll let you guys know. It might be 9 o'clock on a Friday. I don't know. I'm gonna let you know. But that's all I got for you guys today. And until next time, let's go. Nick.